Hello people, today I'm going to be ranking all Star Wars movies from the worst to the best. We have 11 films now with the new entry of the Star Skywalker saga, correcting myself, with Raisa Skywalker. And if you want to, I'm not going to be diving too deep into each film in this list, so if you want to see my Raisa Skywalker review, it's on my channel, you'll find it. So, yeah, let's get into it. Number 11 is Attack of the Clones. This is such a bland, boring, and bleak Star Wars movie, and it just a lot of the acting is cheesy. It just felt not. It felt Walmart Star Wars. That's the perfect way of putting it, and I don't even want to talk about this movie anymore. Coming in at number 10 is The Phantom Menace. Had some cool stuff, had some cool ideas, but the execution of the movie as a whole was not well done at all. They added Jar Jar Binks, which I cannot stand him, but I am not attacking that actor because I will also want to address this Star Wars fan base is so toxic. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan in the world. I'm just putting this up here because I've seen all of them. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan in the world, but oh my god, if you're a Star Wars fan, well, now I'm not saying all Star Wars fans are toxic, but there are toxic Star Wars fans to the point where the actor Jar Jar Binks almost killed himself. Wow. That's sad. And if you're a toxic Star Wars fan, typing down right now in the comments, you're just proving my point. So, yeah. Anyways, Phantom Menace, some very good casting choices, but overall, it just wasn't an interesting movie with some very poor decisions on George Lucas's end. Coming in at number 9 is Solo, a Star Wars movie. This movie is okay. The performance by whoever plays Han Solo is okay. It has some pretty good comedy. I remember laughing and chuckling a couple times. But overall, this movie, it's just so forgettable. There's been so many times where I've been trying to think of all the Star Wars movie, and every single time, Solo's the one I forget ever was released. I felt like no one asked for this. I never heard anybody saying, we want a Han Solo movie. Want to know what I've been hearing? I've heard people asking, we want an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, and now they're making that a Disney Plus TV show. It's cool that we're getting a TV show, but it's either Star Wars listens to the fans too much or they listen to them too little. We haven't found really an equal good balance of that, and it's Disney's fault and our fault at the same time. So yeah, coming in at number 8 is Rise of Skywalker. This movie as a Star Wars film is decent, but as a movie, this thing just fell apart. It's so rushed, and we didn't have any character moments. At the end of the day, we still barely know anything about like Finn and Poe, about our new characters. Lando was in it, but it just felt like that Lando being in it was just fan service as a whole. We could have taken him out of the movie and replaced him with actual character moments in the movie, and that would improve. Maybe we could put in a longer runtime so we could have some more character moments, because it just felt like that's what I needed. Plus some Emperor stuff could have been, I hated all the Emperor stuff, so that could have been taken out. But my biggest problem with this movie is that it just doesn't have any character stuff, and it's just all action, 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 and Skywalker Saga, done, bye. I just wanted more character moments, and it just felt like there was so many ways to get more of that, but they just ignored it. Add to the runtime. Make it a 3-hour movie. Endgame did that. And if Endgame had to do if Endgame had to do the same runtime that Rise of Skywalker had, it'd probably be just as bad as Rise of Skywalker, because Endgame has a lot of fan service too. So if you just add to that runtime and add character moments and some better plot details, this would have probably been a really good movie. But no, they rushed it. They just flicked off Last Jedi the whole time, and it was just a frustrating watch for me. Coming in at number 7 is Revenge of the Sith. This movie, I don't love it as a lot of people do. I still see the problems that I see in some of the other prequel movies. I still think the acting is really cheesy. All the romance stuff just falls flat. But there are some really cool action sequences. The final act of the movie is iconic. The final act of the movie is what really kind of puts this movie up a little bit more than these other movies, because if it wasn't for that final act, this movie would probably be down with the other prequels. But the final act of this movie is so well done, it just kind of boosted it up a little bit. But overall, within the first 2 acts, it's still a little prequel-sidus, if that's the word I put for it. Coming in at number 6 is kind of an unpopular opinion of mine, but that is Return of the Jedi. This movie's good, not great. I just don't like the first act of the movie. Jabba the Hutt was pointless. And I know they had to rescue Han Solo, but maybe somehow tie that in with Darth Vader, or with the whatever it's called. Sorry. It just felt, Jabba the Hutt just felt it felt like a mini movie that you would see on Disney Plus before you watched another movie. It just felt so like Jabba the Hutt, the rest of the movie, right here. I would have preferred if they put that within like 20 minutes, not the whole first act. And I know other people were like, how about we could use that to show how Luke has grown as a Jedi, but there's other ways to do that as well. So it just felt like it was a little too of a first act, second and third act. There's other ways to do it, and it just felt like I didn't really care about any of the Jabba the Hutt stuff. I just wanted to see, it felt like this whole time we just wanted to see the end of it, and it just felt kind of sloppy at some points, but it's still a really good movie, a really good entry into the Star Wars saga, and please don't attack me on my unpopular opinion. Coming in at number 6 is The Last Jedi. Star Wars fans, please don't attack me. I think this is a good movie. It's not great, obviously, but of course the Cantovite stuff I don't enjoy. I skipped through that, but I love the stuff that they did with Luke Skywalker. It felt natural, like it felt human that we got from what we got from Luke Skywalker, and I really appreciated that. I know Raisa Sue, that's a little problem, but it doesn't bother me too much. Ben Solo is probably the best part of this movie, and he's the best part of the whole entire new trilogy as well. There's some very fantastic action sequences. I feel like that action sequence with Ren and Rey, where the red action sequence, I don't know the name of after he kills Snoke, that action sequence, it just feels so iconic. That gave me the chills. There's some very, very good Leia stuff in this movie that I feel like is underappreciated. And overall, I think this movie, on the fans' end, is just an overreaction. Yes, it has a lot of problems, but it still has a lot of good stuff, in my opinion, that kind of raises the good from the bad. But I'm just thinking, if Empire was released today, we would have the same exact reaction. And when you think about it, Empire subverts expectations just the way Last Jedi did. And it just felt irritating that people hate this movie so much. I think it's good, not great, but yeah. Coming in to number 4 is The Force Awakens. This movie, I will say, there was at one point where I would call this my favorite Star Wars movie, and that's because, I'm just saying, you have to be in the mood to watch this specific movie, and if you're in the mood to watch that specific movie, if you're in the mood for watching Force Awakens, not Star Wars, but Force Awakens, it's a really fun ride. I remember thinking the movie was good, not great, and then a couple months ago, watched it, and I was like, this is such a fun movie. And overall, this movie's just fun. And it's, yeah, I know it copies New Hope a lot, but it's just overall a very, very fun movie with very good setups. Now, coming in to number 3 is Rogue One. This was such a surprise of a movie. I think I saw this movie a week after it was released. I wasn't that excited for it. I was like, okay, whatever, Rogue One. And I remember just thinking to myself once that movie was over, I'm like, I should have saw that a week ago because I really love Rogue One, and I feel like it's a Star Wars classic and obviously the best thing that we've gotten from the Disney Star Wars. And I think Disney Star Wars has been okay. It's had its up and downs. It's had its up and downs, but yeah, Rogue One is just such a strong movie, and that action sequence at the end is so I was on the edge of my seat the whole entire third act, and yeah, it was very good. Coming in to number 2 is A New Hope. This had a lot of stuff going for it. It was something new for its time, and it does have its problems to now, but when you look back, this was the introduction to this new world that people will fall in love, but nowadays hate. This movie, it doesn't feel like a first... Oh my god, my Siri's going off. Okay. I don't know if you guys were able to hear that, but that was pretty funny. Where was I? Anyways, A New Hope is a solid first entry to the Star Wars saga, and the way it explores this new universe in such a fascinating way is just so iconic. And number 1 is everybody's number 1, Empire, and I'm not... It's Empire. I'm not gonna dive too deep into this one because it's Empire. It's amazing. So yeah, that's my list because it's Empire. Anyways, that's my list. Like, share, subscribe, and stuff like that, and adios.